Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. I'm Sam, an English guy living in provincial Russia. Now in today's video I'm going to talk to you about how to get a Russian passport, because I know it's something that a lot of people want to know about. Now it's also the May Day kind of weekend celebrations, although it's not actually the weekend, it's a Monday, but it turns out that the 1st of May this year is going to be on a Tuesday. So anyway, I've come to my friend's house, we're going to have a barbecue, so I'll talk to you about how to get a Russian passport and show you what it's like to chill out in Russia at your friend's house and have a barbecue. So in Russia, if you're going to someone's house as a guest, always bring something with you, always. I say this to my friends, a lot of people don't get it. They always go to people's houses and they never bring anything. I think, what's wrong with you? So when I come to my friend's house, I always bring their kids sweets. Let's find the sweets. I know my friend loves whiskey, so I'm going to grab him some whiskey. Is his favourite whiskey here though? That's the question. Well, his favourite one isn't here, so we're going to have to go for the Jack Daniels. Now it's important not just when you go to someone's house to bring a gift for them, but on specific holidays. Remember the people that you're going to need help from in the future. This is something that's really important in Russia. So in Russia we have the day of the bookkeeper, the day of the lawyer, the day of the policeman, and you want to make sure that on those days you give a gift to your friend who's a policeman, or your friend who's a lawyer, or your friend who's a bookkeeper, etc, etc. A lot of foreigners will ask me, Sam, I need a lawyer, or Sam, I need a bookkeeper, for example. Can you put me in touch with somebody? And I'll say, yeah, that's no problem at all, I can help you out. And then a year later they'll say, Sam, I can't get in contact with the lawyer whose number you gave me, you know, he really helped me out last time. And I'll say, right, okay, did you get him a gift for New Year? They were like, well, no. I'm like, did you wish him happy birthday? No. Well, why the hell should they now care when you need their help again? The bookkeeper and the lawyer, they don't want your gifts, they don't need your gifts, but it's nice for them to receive the attention, for you to show them that you appreciate them. That's what it's all about. So right, here we are at Dima's house. You can see my dirty car. It really needs a clean, doesn't it? Dima's dog drives me crazy. I don't know how he could live with a dog that's just constantly barking. Ah, so annoying. Dima's got a nice little barbecue area around the side of his house. That's where we're going to be chilling out today. Я знаю. Я знаю. Я знаю. Я знаю. Я знаю. Я знаю. I wonder if they've started. Dima said to me, come around, everything's going to be ready at 6:30, which means nothing's been started. That's basically what it means. Ah, this is the barbecue chill out zone for today. Do you have a barbecue area like this in your house? I know that in the US and Australia, barbecue is also very, very popular. And like this bit here as well with the stove, and then the ability to cook things in the cauldron. One of the great things about Dima's house is probably his balcony here from his bedroom that gives him epic views of the massive reservoir that's at the end of this area here. And he's been very clever and purchased this plot of land here so that no one else can build in front of him. Right, so a Russian passport. How can you get one? Well, the first step that you need to do is to get residency in Russia. I always say the same thing to foreigners. Get yourself on the residency ladder. There's 2 stages of residency. There's temporary residency and permanent residency. And once you've had permanent residency for 5 years, you can apply to become a Russian citizen. So what do you need to do to get yourself onto the temporary residency ladder, as I call it? So probably the biggest hurdle and what scares most foreigners and why they keep renewing visas, like renewing their work visa or renewing their tourist visa or their fiancé visa, right? The reason they do that is because they're worried about not being able to pass the exam. Now, one of the requirements to receive temporary residency in Russia is the language exam. It's like a language kind of history, kind of all about Russia exam. It's a multiple choice A, B, C, D, or, well, the Russian equivalent. So this exam used to be a lot easier. They're a lot more lenient with it, but now they're starting to get really strict with it. I guess they really want to make sure that, you know, they're happy for foreigners to come and become residents or become citizens, but they want to make sure that people who actually love Russia and learn the Russian language and, you know, want to be in Russia are the people that get the residency and not just people that, I guess, looking for the advantages of living in Russia. Armenian pizza. So when it comes to residency in Russia, it's a bit of a strange one. There's two ways you can get it. The first way is you marry a Russian citizen and you qualify because you're married, right? So you qualify for the right to apply because you're married. The second way is, well, it's not as kind of clear. You need to go to the immigration, to the police and say, I'd like to apply for residency. And in each town they have like a quota system, which is basically they have a certain amount of places each half year or each year, allocated spots that you can basically go and reserve, and you can say, I'd like to apply for residency. But there's no kind of real specific criteria. Some people say that you need to be in Russia for half a year. Some people say you need to be in Russia for a year. But what makes you get residency above somebody else? There's no real criteria for it. I guess if you have purchased property in Russia, or you have a job in Russia, or you speak Russian, then these things are going to go in your favor when applying, because there's a certain amount of spaces available, and you basically have to go and kind of convince the immigration officer and say, look, I want to apply for residency. This is why I should be allowed to apply. This is why I want to stay in Russia. These are my plans. This is what I want to do. And then they decide, okay, you can apply or you can't. And it's a bit of a weird one. But when it comes to applying through marriage, right, you don't actually have that allocated number of places. If you're married, you can apply. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? What is your name?
My name is Dmitry.
Dmitry.
It's present for my friends.
Oh, it's a present.
From social Cuba.
From Cuba?
Yeah.
Wow. It's contraband.
Yes.
Wow.
Pleased to meet you.
Thank you so much. So the first stage of residency is called temporary residency, and it lasts for 3 years. But the good thing is, once you've done 1 year of temporary residency, you can then apply for permanent residency. And permanent residency never ends. It's like a little blue book, like a passport. It's like a residency passport almost. And basically that never ends. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, just stay on permanent residency forever. You wouldn't need to take any further steps. But if you wanted to, after 5 years of being a permanent resident, you can apply for Russian citizenship. Dmitry, man, what are you cooking, man? So what do you need to do first? Well, let's say that you're on a visa in Russia and you decided you want to stay full time, you decided maybe you want to open a business or whatever it is, the reason you want to stay. You need to go to immigration and ask to apply for the temporary residency permit. And if they accept, then you can apply.
Yes, I'm a barbecue man.
Hey man, you like Bob Marley?
Yes,
Yeah?
it's my favorite author.
You like to smoke the ganja?
No,
No?
we are Russians, we are drinking.
Drink the vodka.
Yes, sinka. In Russian call it, we are sinka and drinking.
So to apply for residency, once you've been to immigration and you've been accepted and they said you can apply, then at that point you need to get the documents together. It's not really difficult. It might sound kind of overwhelming, but it's actually not that difficult at all. It's just some medical certificates that you can get done here in Russia. you need to have a criminal record check done in the country that you're from, and that needs to be apostolized. And then just copies of the documents and stuff like that, fill in the form. It's not as big a deal as it sounds, and you can probably get it all done in a week, apart from the criminal record check that you're gonna have to wait for to, you know, be sent to you from the UK. Just get someone to apply for it in your name and put a signature on there, you know. It's no big deal really. But the main thing is the language test. You're going to have to prepare for that, because they've become very strict with that lately. So you're going to have to make sure you pass that language test. And then once you do that, you hand in all certificates, hand in all your documents, and it takes, I think now they say, about 4 months, and that's it. You're a temporary resident. Well done. One of the things you need to know about being a temporary resident is each year you need to show that you have been earning money in Russia. You need to declare and show that you've been earning money. So after the first year of having temporary residency, you'll need to go to immigration and you'll need to show your earnings for the year. Once they have ticked off and said, well done, you have completed the first year, at that point they can say, if you want to now, you can apply for permanent residency. So look at this, we've got chicken and pork all together. And once you get permanent residency, your problems are finished. You're still on permanent residency. You have to send immigration once a year a report, your tax report, to show how much money you've been earning in Russia, to show that you've been supporting yourself. That's one of the key things that you have to do, to show that you're supporting yourself in Russia. Because without that, how are you living in Russia? And they need to know that you're able to support yourself. Now, once you have permanent residency, all the stress is going to disappear, because you don't have to worry about the visas anymore in your life. None of that returning home, renewing the visas, all that stuff. It's so much easier. And then, of course, once you've done 5 years, you can apply for a Russian passport. Now, when it comes to applying for a Russian passport, there's also different types of ways that you can apply for your Russian passport. So when I applied for my Russian passport, I went through a commission of, I think there were 6 immigration officers in the room, and they basically tested my knowledge and my language skills, and I qualified as a native speaker. But there's other people that are going to qualify on the grounds of being married, for example. There's lots of different reasons that you can qualify for a Russian passport. But once you've done 5 years, you then have the right to apply. Now, if you're a resident, you have to stay in Russia for at least 183 days of the year. Otherwise, your residency will be cancelled. So just over half the year, you have to stay in Russia. That's one of the requirements. Another one of the great things about having residency is you can get registration for the full length of your residency, which is great, because then you don't have to, if you leave Russia and come back, you don't have to re-register yourself. It's stamped inside your passport or inside the residency permit, and it says from what date until what date you're registered. So you can register yourself for 5 years, for example, if you're a permanent resident, and that's it. You don't have to worry anymore about leaving the country, coming back, doing the registration thing, which is so annoying. One of the things I noticed when you're going up the residency ladder, as I call it, when you're on a visa and you go to immigration, you're just another tourist, and the people in immigration they're a bit difficult with you. Once you get onto temporary residency, they're a bit nicer. By the time you get to being a citizen, it's so much easier. They're so much nicer to you, and everything just seems so much easier. So being a citizen is great. So I'm a Russian citizen, but I'll tell you one of the things that you need to be aware of. If you could become a Russian citizen, then you need to sign up for the armed forces. So I've been roped into playing football with the kids. It's going to be 2 aside. I don't know who else is going to be playing. There's only 3 of us. All the other ones are scared. Ай-яй-яй!
Давай, давай!
Ой, молодец какой.
Молодец какой! Ты не веришь, женщину танцуй!
So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a bit of fun, a bit of information for you. And really I want you to become Russian citizens so you can have the same kind of fun that I have here in Russia with my Russian friends. I really enjoy life in Russia, and I hope that you do too, and I hope that you'll become Russian citizens too. So I also have a Telegram chat group that you can join that I just share kind of general day-to-day life in Russia, and you can ask me questions. And also I've created a website, samsrussianadventures.com, the same name as my channel, and from the 20th of May 2024 you can go there and you can request a free phone call with me and ask me any questions about anything to do with Russia that you might have, anything at all. Just go there from the 20th of May, it's going to be ready. And yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, give me a like, leave a comment, and if you'd like to, you can help me by sponsoring this channel or by leaving me a donation. You can do that below, but it's up to you. Okay, see you in the next video.